What's up, and welcome to Me, You, and Switch 2. I'm me, Tom Tate, and you're you, so let's talk about Switch 2. It is currently Tuesday, June 3rd, and we are just 2 days out from release of this new console. I've been following along with the news and various podcasts and coverage since it was formally announced, and I am super stoked. Couldn't be more excited. The Switch is probably my favorite console of all time. Incredible library, so much fun. We have 3 in the house. My kids love it, so I can't wait. And I have one pre-ordered, so we'll see what happens. There have been a lot of highs and lows. I'm not going to cover all of them. This is intended to be a short podcast, but let's just hit some of the highs. Mario Kart World looks absolutely incredible. I think there will be a few surprises that we haven't seen yet. So I'm excited to really crack into Mario Kart World and explore. I'm going to try to avoid some of the coverage because I want just a little bit of that delight of stumbling upon something for the first time. One prediction that my son and I were talking about, we do think there will be some type of boss race or boss challenge, some series of bosses that you stumble upon in the game, or some type of loose story mode. I'm really hoping that happens. I think it will add a very interesting dimension to the game. We haven't seen anything like that in any of the trailers or coverage yet, so we'll see. Some of the mids, some of the lows of the coverage of Switch 2. There's been a lot of blowback on the prices of games. Personally, I'm okay paying more for first-party Nintendo games. The quality is always there. Hours of entertainment, provided, there's some longevity in the gameplay and the playability is high. I'm okay paying $80, honestly. I'm eager to play games like Cyberpunk and Yakuza on Switch 2, but as a PS5 and an Xbox owner, it's just more affordable right now for me to experience those games at half or maybe even less than half the price. They've been on those consoles for a while. Sometimes they're on Game Pass or streaming services, which I do pay for. So it's really difficult for me to pay full price for a third-party title that I can get super cheap on another device or a console. So that's one thing I'm definitely cognizant of. Switch 2 is also seemingly moving closer to an all-digital future, with fewer games being released physically and many games being released on game key cards. These are actual Switch cartridges that don't have the game data on the card. You still have to download the data, but you have to have the card inserted to play the games. I'm actually more okay with this than buying digital. Typically, I avoid buying digital. And the reason I like this is because your game key cards can be sold and traded and lent out to friends or family members or used on other consoles. I always had a problem with buying digital because that money is gone once you spend it. That money goes to Nintendo, goes to the third-party developer. You cannot do anything with that license after you purchase it. Nintendo games really do hold their value, so it's nice to have the option to sell this later on. If I want to get some cash for a new game that's coming out and I'm no longer playing one of those game keycard games, I can sell it on Facebook Marketplace, or I can go trade it in. So I like that option. Obviously, there's some concerns about game preservation, but I have confidence that the game preservationists will find a way. It's like Jurassic Park. They always find a way. So real quick, I just want to list off some of the releases that we can expect to see this week. Some of these will be physical releases. Some of these will be the game key cards. Some of them will be digital only. This actually comes from a Reddit user, Gambit's End, and I will drop a link in the show notes here. So what we can expect this week, Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S, that's going to be a game key card. Hogwarts Legacy, game key card. Sonic X Shadows Generations, game key card. We have Split Fiction, which will be a digital download code in a box. Sid Meier's Civilization 7, that will also be a code in a box. We have Bravely Default Flying Fairy HD Remaster. This might actually be the game that I pick up in addition to Mario Kart. This will be a game key card. Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition cartridge. Mario Kart World cartridge. Street Fighter 6, this will be a game key card. We have Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. They will be released as cartridges. You can get the digital upgrades if you own the Switch version, I believe. And I also believe that those are included if you are a Nintendo Switch Online user. We have Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma. That will be a cartridge. And then finally, we have Yakuza 0 Director's Cut. That will be a game key card. There are a couple releases not in North America that include Kunutsugami, Path of the Goddess, Shine Post, Be Your Idol, Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster, and Nobunaga's Ambition. So really exciting. There is a nice launch lineup, a little something for everyone. And I cannot wait, honestly. So I have a pre-order, as I mentioned, from a major retailer that hasn't been canceled as of today. I heard that some pre-orders have been canceled. They took my money, so I'm hopeful that I'll have a console at my door this Thursday, and I will release my thoughts on Friday. So before we close out today, this is episode 1 of Me, You, and Switch 2. Obviously, my intention is to release 2 episodes a week and have them be anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes long. I'm a busy person, father of 3. Certainly, I am not a full-time content creator. I have no desire to be a full-time content creator. This will be a podcast, audio only. Don't anticipate it will be a YouTube show. Maybe we'll put the audio clips on YouTube. I'm not sure. But my guess is that you are a busy person as well, and you are not a full-time podcast listener. So in respect to your time, there are many, many deep dive Nintendo podcasts out there. Some of them are 30 minutes. Some of them are 3 hours and 30 minutes. I listen to quite a few of those. But rather than create more of the same, this is intended to be your brief news flash to keep up with the latest and greatest news and updates on new game releases, Nintendo Directs, and announcements. Maybe every once in a while, I'll have a guest on for some long-form discussion. Maybe we'll do a deep dive into a specific topic, but I'll release those as bonus episodes. So this isn't my first rodeo with podcasting. I wouldn't call myself a veteran, but I've been podcasting for over 15 years now. I have an archived Nintendo Power retrospective podcast called the Power Time Podcast. You can still find it some places. I'm not sure. I've done some other side shows, video game and non-video game related. I've spent 4 to 5 years as a podcast editor for a popular retro gaming show, New Game Plus, one of my favorite podcasts. I still listen to it today. I've been really eager to get back into it, and this feels like a good time to start something new. So I'm excited to start this journey, and I hope that we both stick with it. So that's it for today. I don't have a website. I don't have any social handles to reach out to me on. There's no need to leave a review. There's no Patreon, no nothing. All that might be coming soon. Maybe. I'm not sure. Right now, it's all about the launch, and it's happening in 2 days. So I will see you in a few. Much love. Now go play some games.